Welcome back to my channel, to Outdoor Zulu. I'm starting a brand new series. If you noticed, I'm actually a scoutmaster for a local troop here, and every year when we get new scouts, I always explain to parents about gear that they should get for first year scouts and etc. So I'm going to start a whole series just specifically for first year scouts on what to get. So let's get started with part one, knives. So you just got a list of gear that you should probably be buying for your scout, or your scout should be buying for themselves. And generally, one of the first things at the top of the list which is generally a budget item, is a knife. Now, what I tell parents is don't go out and buy the most expensive gear, especially for the very first year. So we're going to start talking about different knives. So they have to take some knife training and things like that when they get on their first camp out. But what kind of knife should you buy a first year scout? I'm going to be going through all kinds of different knives that first year scouts should have, maybe some older scouts can have, and just depends on how comfortable they are with a sharp blade. So we're going to go through and what shows which knives you should be buying and which knives you should not be buying. For a first year scout, especially in my particular troop, all we ask for is a pocket knife with a folding blade and that it has a locking blade mechanism. So this one here has a little knob here to help you open it up. Same thing here with a little thumb assistance here. It doesn't matter what the brand is, as long as it is something that'll fit their hand, so they can help cut kindling and things. You don't want a very small knife. You don't want actually the traditional Cub Scout or Boy Scout knives. You actually don't want those because those aren't locking blades. And what I mean by a locking blade is this one opens up and you hear a click. And that means then it will not move. It will not open or close any further until you actually unlock the blade. So you see here that there is a little locking mechanism. You can just move over to the left and you're able to close it. Now it's got a little belt clip here. Let me pull it out here so we can see. Come on, focus. You can actually open that up and clip it to your belt, etc., or put it in some kind of case. Now, this is an ideal knife for a first year scout, but maybe you might want something go a little bit non-traditional. And here is one where all it does is it has a little, this is still a locking blade. It has a little bit of a groove here to open up the blade. And then you can turn that and it will not lock. That's all we're looking for. So when they're cutting, that blade doesn't go back into their knife, into their knuckles, excuse me. So this would also be an acceptable and durable one for a first year scout. Now there are some a little more upgrade options for some scouts, depending on what you like. So this here is very similar to the first one. It has a locking blade. But this one is spring assisted. So this one you actually had to pull open with your fingertips. Here you kind of push down this little knob here, and it opens up right away. So you just have to be a little bit more careful on where your fingers are when you open this. And again, this is already locked. You can't move it. You just pull the little side piece here with your thumb and close it. That's a good little knife. That'll work just fine. That's obviously a little bit more options. Same thing with this one here. This is the same thing. It's fairly lightweight. It's got a good grip here, big enough for your hand. It's got both a thumb assistance here and a forefinger here, and so you can quickly open it up and you hear that lock and it's not going to move at all. Okay. Furthermore, we've got a little bit bigger one. Now, this one is a heavy duty. It's good for, like, I wouldn't take this backpacking. It's way too heavy, but it's got all kinds of safety devices here. And so you can open and unlock the clip and it opens up, and it's got some it's got some heft to it. This might be a little bit heavy for a first year scout, but if whatever works for them, then that's fine. It's got nice, good grip for making tinder. Now, what I personally carry on when I go backpacking is a really small, lightweight one. This wouldn't necessarily be good for a first year scout because this one is not very good for making tinder from off of logs. It's not spring assisted, but it's incredibly lightweight and perfect for backpacking. If I plan on making some fire, tinder, I actually bring a different knife, which has a little bit better grip on the hand, and I can have a little more utility with it. Now, I want to show you some knives that are good for probably older scouts, but not good for younger scouts. And those are sheath blades. Now, sheath blades, there's nothing wrong with them, but we do like to try to train our younger scouts first on the locking blades. Now, here is where I think another scout showed me how to do. You just nudge a little bit and it slides out. Obviously, this is a great utility knife, but probably for older scouts, that you can click on your belt and carry it around a little bit, or for backpacking, but probably not good for a first year. Plus, this looks really nice, and you don't want to have a first year scout losing a really nice blade, so you want to find kind of medium range pricing. I also have some larger knives, larger sheath knives. Now, yeah, these are great for utility and camping and stuff, but for first year scouts, you want something a little bit more that they can manage. And even some camps actually have some policy restrictions on sheath knives. So it's always a safer bet to go with a locking blade knife. And of course here, you don't see these too many on scout campouts, but they can carry them, especially if they have the training for them. But this is more for hunting purposes. So I would have definitely do not buy something as nice as this for a first year scout. Now, where can you find some of these locking blade knives, especially in the Portland metro area? Great places are, Sportsmans Warehouse, Buy Mart, even some Fred Meyer, and even Target has some in the camping section. I would stay away from places like REI and those high-end camping spots, especially for first-year scouts. So you don't need to have anything too expensive. I would just stay away from antique blades, something that maybe grandpa handed down to them, because those are often don't have locking blades. So you want a nice, good pocket knife with a good grip for a first-year scout. We're talking 11 and 12-year-olds, and a locking blade, and then we'll teach them how to handle that, how to sharpen it, and how to care for it. So if you got any questions, please always reach out to your Scoutmaster or put in a comment, and I'll do my best to let you know. Thanks for watching. Bye.